another belt to follow, and we introduce to you at this time our referee, Harold Balance.
Very bravura performance.
Well, that's his debut at the Garden, and I have a hunch he'll be back. If the announcer's job in part is to get the crowd into the fight, he's done it.
He's certainly done it.
Larry Holmes trying to psych out Mike Weaver here
out alive,
as the referee Harold Vallon is giving their instructions. The mandatory 8 count is in effect. The 3 knockdown rule has been waived. That's at the discretion of the referee. He can keep getting knocked down or he can stop it after 1.
You can look for Mike Weaver to go out very fast in this fight.
You mean go out fast or be knocked out fast?
Might be both.
Weaver in the red trunks is pressing Holmes. Round 1, 15-round bout. Holmes has that very hard left jab. Larry up on his feet a la a young Muhammad Ali. Larry outreaches his man by a couple of inches, keeping him off with that jab. Weaver is trying to get in close. Weaver has a pretty good knockout record.
Walking straight at him.
Mike Weaver has scored 14 knockouts. However, he is leaving the left side of his jaw quite exposed, dropping that left hand down. Holmes jabs about 50% of them getting in there. Weaver taking the jab, and they off rather hard, very hard now.
That was the jab that knocked out Ocasio in his last title defense.
Big jab.
Something I never saw before or even heard of.
You may never see it again either.
And then again you may.
Weaver is getting $50,000 for this fight, which is 10 times greater than his biggest previous purse.
A light tap to the body is Weaver's first punch of the fight. And still the jabs come from the champion, Larry Holmes, WBC champion. About a minute to go in round 1.
What Holmes is really saying by his action here is that he's just not going to take any chances of walking into a punch. He's going to size his man up before he goes to work on him seriously.
He's warming up too. He's got Cole standing there through
all he has to do is keep jabbing. Larry got around to using the right hand for a change. Good hook to the body by Weaver. He's in there to fight. Makes the champion open up. Oh, these are hard jabs. Reminiscent of Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis. Bell ending round 1. Let's join our host, Len Berman.
Thank you, Don. More sports action. Heavyweight Championship of Tennis. Wimbledon starting Monday here on HBO, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock Central Time. Haywood Hale-Broom the first week, Vic Braden the second week. Highlights of the early rounds, followed by in-depth coverage of the men's and women's quarter and semifinal matches. Wimbledon starts Monday here on HBO. You know, Mike Weaver started boxing in the Marines. It turns out he got into a fight with a guy at the jukebox over a tune. He punched the guy out. It turns out the guy he punched out was the camp champion in the Marines. Immediately, Weaver was recruited for the boxing team. The rest is history. Back to you, Don.
Holmes is risking a $3 million purse here, Don. It's amazing. For no money at all, he is signed up to fight Shavers in the fall. His purse will be $3 million. Should he, by some fluke, anything happen here, could blow $3 million without a penny in return for it.
Well, it could happen. He could get cut. You never can tell. He might run into a punch. Countering there by the champion after Weaver landed a good one. Weaver is trying to fight, but Holmes is just too good with that jab.
If you notice, Weaver has his gloves open, Don, and Holmes's corner complained between rounds about the fact that he's been fighting with those gloves open. Of course, there's a danger of a cut when he does that.
Right.
Lacing.
Jab goes right by the guard. Oh, now the 1-2. Holmes may be ready to end it.
Well, he's come down off his toes, and he's flat-footed, and he looks like he feels he has Weaver measured and that he can punch now.
Holmes waves Weaver in at him after that punch. Weaver edges in slowly.
Weaver's a little over-muscled.
That was a pretty good punch for the challenger, or by the challenger. Swinging away with that left hand.
Good body
Hard
punch
to the
there.
body by Weaver. Make the champion think a little bit. Weaver making a contest of it now. Not winning, but making a contest.
Head and shoulders, he feints rather well. He's not that easy of a target, Holmes is finding right now.
Holmes seems to be bothered by his belt line. His trunks, they may be a little loose. See that? He's moving his hand toward them. Holmes putting more power in his jab. Weaver hasn't got much defense against that left hand, and now the rights are starting to come. Weaver fights back hard, gamely. Tries to challenge the champion out into the center. And brings up a quiet crowd yelling.
Holmes' ostensible purpose in taking this fight was to help win the people over, but
The bell ending round
momentarily, at
two.
least, Weaver was winning the people over there.
Yeah, Weaver's staying in. And I think a lot of that is in credit to Ray Barnes, his trainer. He's one of the best trainers in boxing today.
You know, this is an opportunity of a lifetime for a young man, and
He's going to make the most of it.
it looks like he's got himself keyed up, you know, to go out on his cross. He's going to give whatever he has to give.
Larry, when you figure the number of fighters there have been since the days, if you pardon the expression, the days of Jim Figg, and the small
Yep.
number who actually have fought for the heavyweight championship, Weaver is, you know, he's honored.
Well, you know, right now, of all the people in the world, there's only one that has a chance to take the title away from the champion, and he's
That's
sitting
Mike
right
Weaver.
here.
He's with us tonight.
And there he is, Mike Weaver.
Larry Holmes does not sit down between rounds.
Not so far. Here is round three, with Holmes winning the first two rounds, mainly because of his left jab and good combination. But Weaver looked a little better in round two. And he's fighting a bit more confidently and coming in a little faster at Holmes.
You know, from Holmes' point of view, I don't think he can give a chance for this fighter to build up his confidence. He should be taking charge. He hasn't discouraged.
And now Weaver is going to jab, the 1-2, a hook to the body all in a row. Holmes comes back with the jab.
I think that speaks to what I was just saying. So all of a sudden, he thinks he can fight this guy. He may be wrong, but he thinks he can.
Holmes talked to him. Weaver didn't even listen. He just fired back and scored. The challenger has made a fight out of it. He is not Jean-Pierre Koopman by any means.
Certainly is not. He's got a very good left hand.
Well, Weaver is forcing Holmes to back up. Don't you say to yourself about this point, Larry and Ryan, that, gee, maybe I should have picked the challenger, you know, just for fun, and maybe he might win?
Who would remember if you picked the champion?
Would believe you.
The champion still has a snappy left jab.
Yes, he has. There it is. Again. And again. Well, Weaver keeps pouring in. Good countering jabs by Holmes. A little bit more than a minute to go here in round 3. Well, I give Mike Weaver credit. He's carrying the fight to the champion. Even though nobody had given him a chance to win. Moving in. Going hard again. The remaining seconds of round 3. Harold Bell and the referee having little to do. There are no clinches as Weaver comes at the champion again. And the crowd, many of them rooting now for the underdog. That's Mike Weaver. Making the champion miss. A little bit low, that hook. Ending round 3.
Well, Holmes had some bad intentions in those punches in the last minute and a half of that round. I think he's trying to assert himself here before the other guy gets too many ideas and gets too brave and fights beyond his capabilities.
And we have to remember,
let's take a look at a rerun here. There's a left hand high on the head of Weaver, which probably was the best punch of the fight so far for Holmes. But Weaver stays right with him and comes back and grazes him with a right hand, catches a straight right that didn't have a lot of power because Holmes was moving backwards. But I think Holmes is getting a little angry. He's making about 3 cents a round here and he wants to get out.
He's done better at other times. Coming up to round 4 now. Picture of Mike Weaver. Here's Larry Holmes. Larry looks as though he's going to try to end it here. Then he looked like that in the last round.
The crowd, Don, incidentally, is 14,136, which is bigger than we expected.
Very good.
And probably will avoid the promoter, Don King, from taking a loss. If he hasn't made a profit, he hasn't had a loss.
He's got a good house.
We have profited, certainly.
We have seen some good boxing so far.
Holmes cutting his man down with that jab. Weaver taking the punches and fighting back hard with a counter. He's going after Holmes' body and bringing in the right at the same time. And if nothing else, Mike Weaver is bothering Larry Holmes. Holmes is hitting him with best shots, and Weaver keeps coming in.
Not only that, Holmes, who outweighs him 13 pounds, and Weaver is forcing the issue. 3-4 good body punches by Weaver.
Larry has been complaining about his low hitting, and I think he just doesn't like getting hit in the breadbasket.
Holmes putting everything in his punches now.
Maybe the frustration. He's thinking, what is this? I should be back in my dressing room by now.
The party should have started.
Holmes all over him. Uppercut, right, left, everything. Weaver is really being raked down the ropes, but he does not go down.
There's a minute and a half still to go in this round. Plenty of time for the knockout.
Weaver still fighting back. trading with the champion,
Weaver is
taking the
still
play
in
away
the
from him.
fight.
Weaver coming back from that lathering that he took.
Holmes is gathering his forces. He might have punched himself
Holmes
out.
maybe a little bit there. Yeah, he may have punched himself out. He's relaxing in there, trying to rest his hands. And Weaver is at him.
Oh, we have a fight.
But Holmes has taken a raking. A big round for Mike Weaver. Half a minute to go in the round. He's giving Holmes all sorts of trouble. And Holmes looks tired. He looks very tired.
They both look tired.
Yes, they do.
Weaver is reaching Holmes with that left hook.
Weaver is winning the round. The challenger is winning the round. There's the bell.
Unbelievable.
Mike Weaver. A fantastic. And Larry Holmes finally sits down. Larry Holmes sits down for the first time, and he is a tired young man.
And
Believe me.
probably very confused as well, Don.
Pardon?
Probably very confused. Let's take a look at the action here. Here's Holmes landing punches earlier in the round, and it seemed like he was on his way to knocking out Weaver. But Weaver apparently was sliding and slipping with some of those punches and not catching their full power, which enabled him to come back late.
They've thrown an awful lot of water on the champion.
Yeah, he's
Trying
got
to
about
revive him. That was a big round for Weaver.
I want to say, you know that Weaver has been knocked out not by one Bobic, but by two Bobics.
I think one was a decision, Larry.
No, he was knocked out by both Bobics, I believe. I could be wrong. And here they are, and here he is taking the heavyweight champion of the world.
Larry Holmes is actually running away now. Mike Weaver trailing him. The tide really, surprisingly, has turned here. Mike Weaver has taken charge of the fight, at least for now. And he's got Larry Holmes on a bicycle, defending himself. Where Holmes was so confident not too long ago. Holmes still fighting back, but the jab doesn't get in there. Crowd is chanting, Weaver, Weaver.
The crowd yells Weaver.
Holmes not too sharp with his punches. Makes that right again. Well, he's got Holmes off balance, at least mentally. Now he's going to the body. I'm talking
Holmes
about
may be
Weaver.
hurt.
Holmes is hurt and he's tired.
Good right hand by the champion.
Yeah, but when he throws
Best
out,
punch of the
he
fight.
takes something out of himself, though.
Another good right hand by the
Weaver just
champion.
won't get down from him.
He will not back away, Weaver.
Good right hand by Weaver there. And he's got the champion covering up on the rope. And Weaver is smart in there. He doesn't punch himself out. He's looking for the good shot. And there it is. He is Holmes back
Weaver is
into his own
absolutely
into
controlling
Weaver's
the
corner.
action in this fight at this point.
Holmes drops his arms. They may be tired. Weaver's still the aggressor. Weaver pot-shotting him. And Holmes defending himself.
Still to the body. Smart.
Weaver's a smart fighter, no question about it. Half a minute to go in the round, a long round.
Again, the crowd is chanting for the challenger.
Holmes being raked on the rope. Holmes is bothered. He's not the confident champion he was a short time ago. Only 2 rounds ago. That one almost sent him down. Holmes has never lost a fight. The round is almost over. 2 seconds left. A big round for Mike Weaver.
Very big round for Mike Weaver.
Holmes is awfully tired in his corner.
I think Larry Holmes is in real trouble here. He may not be in the greatest condition. I think he's confused.
They must
Timing
be.
is off. It's hard to imagine what's running through his mind right now. There has to be some kind of panic going on there. His fighting in the corner with the rope-a-dope is totally uncharacteristic of his style.
They're pouring water on him, actually hosing him down.
And I think some confusion is set in there. His manager, Teddy, is talking to him, and he's shaking his head. They have to get their signals straight and say, okay, let's start from here. There's 10 more rounds to go, and let's win this fight.
He's crying for water. He wants to drink.
And they'd be dehydrated.
If this keeps up, Muhammad Ali will not retire.
Well, I'll tell you, Larry Holmes took this fight, he said, to impress the people that he's going to be a great champion, but
Holmes was out in the
it's not turning out that way, to put it
he's in a real
mildly
fight.
and charitably.
He just landed a good right at the beginning of the round.
Holmes always gets off well in the beginning of the round. It's the end of the round where he's bothered.
Yes, he gets tired. Weaver sees his chance. He sees the championship.
Weaver is calm about it. He's not getting excited. He's not throwing wild punches. He's picking his spots.
Walking forward.
I think Holmes do the running.
Holmes has gone back to square one, it seems. He's decided, well, I better start over and dance
and jab.
Get myself together and try to get control in that way.
Weaver must be getting points for being the aggressor at this point. 2 minutes left in the round. Weaver trying to get that good right hand in there, and Holmes knows it. Follow up right after the left. Holmes may be backing up, but he's scoring fairly well in this round. Weaver has not been able to get at him. There he got at him. Oh, a tough body shot by Weaver.
Weaver is hitting hard.
Must be discouraging for Larry Holmes. In the first 3 rounds, he hit Mike Weaver with everything. And here is Mike coming at him in the 6th. The 15-round bout if it goes the limit. Goes the limit, somebody's going to be awfully tired at the end. Over anxious, Mike Weaver. Got that jab going in on Holmes.
Holmes has stopped trying for a knockout now. He's just going back and going to try to outpoint him and take the knockout if it comes, he hopes.
Weaver has Holmes defending himself.
Weaver is controlling the ring.
He's out jabbing the champion, too.
More of those rallies, and Holmes liable to be very tired. There's the bell. Now let's go to our host, Len Berman.
Don, a reminder of upcoming programming here on HBO. In addition to a World Heavyweight Championship fight, a world television premiere, The Seekers, July 8th, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central. Starring Randolph Mantooth, George Hamilton, Brian Keith, Robert Reed, Barbara Rush. Book 3 of John Jake's runaway best-selling series on the Kent Family Chronicles. A world television premiere on HBO. You know, Mike Weaver said he saw the movie Rocky 10 times. He always thought how wonderful if he got a chance like that. He's getting his chance. Is this the next Apollo Creed? Maybe a real-life Rocky developing here. Let's go back to ringside.
John King.
An interesting thing happening here that Ryan O'Neal just pointed out to me. Don King has gone up behind the corner of Larry Holmes here with a very, very concerned look on his face. He's the promoter of that multi-million-dollar fight in the fall with Shavers.
Right.
If he loses this fight here, Don King will be out perhaps as much money as Ernie Holmes will.
Don King could be out.
And with it, and if he loses control of the heavyweight championship,
I wonder who Bob Arum's rooting for.
Bob Arum is the
Does this mean that Dwayne Bobbitt is back in the heavyweight picture?
Oh, listen, we can't count Larry Holmes out now. It's a little early for that.
True. But he is retreating.
Bob Arum is the promoter of the WBA version of the elimination for the heavyweight championship. John Tate against presumably Leon Spinks after his fight with Jerry Coetzee on Sunday. And if Holmes doesn't win here, the winner of that tournament will really be recognized by the people as the champion.
Holmes is giving it to Muhammad Ali now. He's moving away, moving away. That jab doesn't have the power it had earlier. Holmes' jab. It was a terrific jab in the beginning. Now it's a flick.
Meanwhile, Mike Weaver gains confidence.
In case you're wondering about Weaver's stamina, he's gone as far as 12 rounds twice and lost a decision both times.
Now Holmes is starting to open up again. We'll see if Weaver can weather the storm. If he can, it's going to take something out of Holmes. Holmes opening up fast here. Raking Weaver. Weaver taking the punch as well. There have been no knockdowns. Weaver's still trying, but not quite as accurate with the right hand as he was earlier.
Not when Larry Holmes jabs and moves.
Now he's caught up with Holmes in there again. Holmes making good use of the jab. Champion coming back here in this round. Coming back well.
Larry Holmes has had a lot of trouble landing the left hook tonight, anywhere.
Solid punches by Holmes. Weaver may be hurt. There's the bell.
Well, Don King is right behind Larry Holmes' corner and urging him on. The way to go, Larry, he's yelling. There's a replay. There's a Holmes retaking the initiative in this round. Particularly at the end. There's a right hand that caught him flush on the jaw, but it was too late in the round for Holmes to really cash in on it. Weaver is backing up for one of the few times in the fight here, and Holmes is having a little bit of difficulty in measuring him for the coup de grace.
The longer Weaver stays, the better chance he has. Larry Holmes looks very disturbed and out of sorts with himself in his corner. Not like a champion.
Well, we're ready now for round 8. Coming up to the halfway mark of this 15-round bout, if it goes the limit. Larry Holmes in the white trunks with the red trim. Mike Weaver, the challenger, in the red trunks with the white trim. Weaver, after looking particularly good in the 4th and 5th rounds, has slowed down tremendously as Holmes has come back. Holmes had a big first 3 rounds. And maybe that early punishment is taking its toll out of Weaver, but he's still trying. Holmes has turned the fight his way again with his jab. And by staying away.
By not looking for the knockout, he might get it. He really established his control of the ring, and now perhaps the opening will come.
Crowd is fairly silent. A lot of the sharpness has gone out of Weaver's punching, probably because of those jabs that Holmes has landed on him. They're hard jabs. Holmes keeps backing away, but he keeps scoring with that left jab. Suddenly Holmes opens up. Weaver again takes the punch well. Weaver's jab has been fairly good himself, but Holmes has landed more often and harder. Weaver every so often gets one of those rights into the body. Blocked jab, short jab. Good jab. And good hook, all by the champion. He is. Now Weaver coming back, making Holmes bicycle out of there. Holmes must have lost a lot of weight in these rounds. Those trunks are falling off now. Weaver back into the attack. Not a good round for the champion, though. I've got it about 5-2 and one even there on my card.
We'll go with your 5-2. You have Weaver in front?
Oh, no. Are you kidding?
Just kidding.
I gave Holmes the first 3 rounds, Weaver the next 2, the 6th even, and the 7th and 8th for Holmes.
Well, let's see if Larry
There's a very concerned Don King.
Well, he's breathing a little easier, I think.
Well,
there is Ray Barnes working with Mike Weaver in his corner. He's telling him, just stay on top. This man will fade.
now comes the test of Weaver, really, whether he can fight the way he did in the early rounds now that we've passed the midway point. He was a 100-yard dash man in high school, ran a 9.800. Now he has to go the distance. Let's see if he can.
See if he can go the whole mile.
I'm not going to belabor the point, but Holmes' chunks are not going to make it in this fight. He's going to need a safety pin. He's losing so much weight that they're falling off. Oh, here's Holmes. Mike Weaver coming back. He's got Holmes in trouble again. Holmes talks to him. And Weaver is hurt. He's got the champion.
Oh, it's like Durant Palomino now.
Holmes throwing everything into it now. Throwing on the reserve.
First good left hook.
Oh, Weaver is taking him and is fighting back. He scored pretty well himself. Weaver has scored well there himself, even though he took a good lathering, and is still taking it. And goes for Holmes' body. It's round 9 with less than 2 minutes to go, and it's Weaver knows where he is. He hurt Holmes. Hurt him good. He's driving Holmes into Weaver's corner.
Larry's tired. He just got hit a hard right. This one Weaver looked up.
Yes, it does. It could close.
Holmes is making a very big effort in this round. If he doesn't hurt or stop his opponent, he's liable to have spent himself.
Weaver doesn't have that power on the right hand that he had earlier.
No.
And Holmes is winding
But
up
Holmes
with his.
is winding up.
Weaver is on Woozy Street, I think.
Weaver stays right in.
Oh!
Low punch.
Holmes claiming a low punch. The referee says keep them up to Weaver.
And the battling continues.
He's liable to knock his pants off. Larry Holmes is saying, what's holding
Another
this
low
man
one
up?
in there.
And my pants. He's landing that right hand, Larry Holmes, almost at will.
But Weaver is taking them.
And Weaver takes it.
The only other tough fight that Holmes had was against Ken Norton, and it was a little like this.
That's right.
There's the bell.
Toe to toe.
Holmes is pretty well spent as we look at him in his corner, but so is Weaver.
You know, I look at this fight and I wonder, these two fellas sitting in their dressing rooms watching Duran and Palomino fight,
We're inspired.
where somehow this man just may have been inspired. He's so much into this fight. His record says he should not be fighting Larry Holmes this well.
He's a 10-to-1 underdog. You can't pace a bet.
You know,
Think shouldn't have fought Muhammad Ali last year.
right. You know, remember earlier in the evening, Don, I quoted Damon Runyon, who said, between two human beings, no one is more than 3-to-1 over another. And we're getting the...
Are there any odds on this fight? There are none.
No, there are no betting odds, but I think if you had to put a number on it, 10-to-1 would be modest.
Holmes is out there again. That jab.
The pants continue to slip off him. We may have an X-rated home box office.
There's no doubt he's wearing a big supporter. Now Weaver's still coming at him.
Weaver
Still
crossing the
moving
ring.
in. Trying to get that shot that would turn it his way again, as it did in round 4. Holmes seems to be talking to Weaver. Holmes up on the toes again. Some would say he's on a bicycle. Holmes giving it to Muhammad Ali now.
I think his trunks just slipped another millimeter.
Weaver pot-shotting him when he gets the chance. Holmes may walk into one of those.
No, he's complaining that
He's
he's been thumped.
Larry's father that he's been thumbed, and the crowd is booing him for it. The referee did talk to Weaver. Weaver's got Holmes in trouble here now, unless Holmes is playing possum. Crowd chanting Weaver again. Weaver ready to come in with the right hand, holds it back. Holmes bothered by that eye again. Holmes is getting lathered in there. Weaver has taken over again, as he did in the 4th and 5th rounds.
Larry stopped jabbing. When he stops jabbing, he gets caught up with.
It looks like it's a sign of fatigue, really. He's trying to get Weaver to open up and leave himself open for a big punch, which I think is a sign of fatigue. It's not the kind of thing that Weaver has shown he would do.
No.
He's not
Now
thinking very
Holmes
well.
opens up again with some pretty good rights. Weaver fights him back. Holmes gets a new lease on life. Weaver is taking those punches.
Just
many
barely.
can take as the question. They're hard punches by Holmes. Weaver has him hurt. The round is almost over. A big round for Weaver.
There's the bell.
There's the
Okay,
bell.
what a fight.
Wow.
Larry Holmes.
If this had been earlier in the round,
His legs were...
we might have a
Let's
new
take another
champion.
look at it. Here comes Weaver to the attack. He
Who would
lands a
believe
short
this?
left hand. Holmes is backing up now. There goes a right hand through his guard.
That
The
one
big
did it.
hasn't landed yet. There it is, straight through his guard. Holmes is tired now and confused. Weaver still to the attack. The great thing about a contest is the uncertainty of what's going to happen. You just don't know what's going to
The
happen.
East Coast will follow this exciting boxing with Damian Oman 2. The West Coast will follow with Steve Martin. Round 11. Weaver opens up fast, and Holmes drives him back.
Holmes' left eye is nearly shut, Don.
His what?
His left eye is nearly shut.
Right. Holmes is game too. He's tired, but he's fighting back hard.
Weaver has no respect for his punch right now.
Weaver's fighting a smart fight. He's not right-hand happy. He's mixing them up. Weaver is out fighting Holmes. Taking the best the champion has and fighting back. Somebody's got to go here. Holmes was left again. Now Weaver is wobbly.
Well,
2 minutes to go in this round. Holmes is giving it his all, as a champion should. Weaver's trying to set him up for another right, and he may. He's working the body, too. This has got to be the surprise of the ages.
it's one of the best heavyweight fights you'll ever see as well. Very few heavyweight fights where you see this many punches land.
I wonder if either of them would be any good at it. I don't know what's holding Weaver up now. Holmes has thrown everything in there, but he's not landing everything. And Holmes is slowed up again by Weaver. Oh, what a left hook. A 1-2 by Mike Weaver. Took the starch out of Holmes. He's backing towards the rope. Holmes is in real trouble now. But he's fighting back gamely. He wants to end the round in his corner so he can sit down. Weaver trying to set him up again. Weaver is down from the uppercut. Weaver is down from the uppercut. He has to get up.
Weaver is out. Good, he may not make it.
7, 8. He got up.
Made it.
He got up. He
Correct.
took the count and the bell rang.
Weaver is wobbling across the ring.
He just made it.
And Weaver
An uppercut. An uppercut
Weaver's
sent him
anxiety
down
to end the
at
fight.
the bell.
He worked
Or
into
10 seconds from the bell.
The left hand. Holmes is almost out in his own corner.
In round 11. They're working frantically on Mike Weaver.
Let's
Here
take
it
a
is
look
now.
at the corner right now. A dead tired Ernie Holmes is back to his own
The
corner.
uppercut. There it is.
A right uppercut. A right uppercut was the punch that did it. Weaver never saw the punch, and and those are the most dangerous kind. And Weaver still looks out in his corner, Don. I don't know if he's going to make it.
We may have a double knockout. But he better not miss the first one. Here's round 12. Let's see if Weaver can take it now. Holmes got a new lease on life now after that knockdown. And he's got Weaver a little bit gun-shy. Weaver doesn't seem to know where he is. The referee may stop it. I think he will stop it. The referee is thinking about stopping it.
Most of those punches are missing. Holmes is
Weaver still fighting back, however.
Clearly.
Weaver's a sitting duck on those ropes. That's all. That's all. Oh, doesn't like it. After 44 seconds of the 12th round, after 44 seconds of the 12th round, the referee, Harold Ballon, has stopped the fight. And Larry Merchant will go up in the ring and get an interview. Yes, he did, no question about it. Here's the referee moving between them, and I think it was a good idea. Larry Holmes throwing kisses to the crowd, but the real hero is Mike Weaver, hero with the crowd. A rank underdog. He put on a sensational fight, and at one point in the 4th, 5th, and 10th rounds, seemed that he might win the fight.
The official time of the knockout has not been announced yet. Let me try and get to one of these two fighters. Larry Holmes first. Larry.
Just wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't rush in.
Larry Holmes looks almost out on his feet.
The crowd.
44 seconds of the 12th round. Winner by technical knockout. Still undefeated.
I think I can hit. I wasn't hurt, but I was.
The heavyweight champion of the world.
I don't think it was right to stop.
Larry Holmes. Holmes.
The crowd is booing to a fare thee well. They don't like it.
Shavers